Hi guys, it's Wendy here from Wendy Wise Beauty. Thanks for stopping by and for visiting me again on my channel. Today I will be reviewing two fragrances. They are Bianco Latte, which is a niche fragrance from the house of Giardini di Toscana. And the second fragrance, it is from Paris Corner, and it is called Taskeen Caramel Cascade. Bianco Latte, it is a fragrance that I already had in my collection, and Taskeen Caramel Cascade, this is very new. I did see a lot of buzz on social media which claimed that Taskeen Caramel Cascade, it is a perfect inspiration for Bianco Latte. So I will let you guys know how close this fragrance are and if this one is at all a dupe for a fraction of the price. For those of you who are new to my channel, thanks for stopping by and for clicking. I would love to have you as a subscriber on my channel, so please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and join the family. On this channel, I do everything having to do with cosmetics, perfume, skincare, and makeup. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for coming again and again, and I do appreciate all of you. I will start this review with the Paris Corner Taskeen Caramel Cascade because this is the latest one in my collection. This is what the box looks like. It is quite a pretty box because there is some glitter on here and it is almost the same color as the bottle. The cap of the bottle, it is quite nice, and this is really robust glass, and the top, it is metal. This is not a first impressions. I have been testing this fragrance thoroughly. Taskeen Caramel and Bianco Latte, they do share a lot of similar notes. The top note, it is caramel and milk. Then there is tonka bean and honey, and it is on a base of vanilla and white musk. Upon first spray, this fragrance, it is quite comforting. It is your typical gourmand fragrance. It smells to me, right when I spray this, it is like a very soft cereal. It is not overtly caramel immediately. The caramel note becomes a bit more prominent after the fragrance settles for a bit. The opening, it is not obnoxious, it is not too strong. It is actually quite pleasant. When the fragrance settles a bit, there is more of this caramel notes and also quite a lot of this milky accord. The tonka bean in this fragrance, it does appear quite suddenly, and it is a tonka bean note, which is a bit, I would say, mentally a bit minty. It is similar to the manner in which tonka bean behaves in the Eilish fragrance. I do like this note in tonka bean. Normally tonka bean has a bit of a burnt accord, which a lot of people do not like, but sometimes this accord, this burnt accord, it can smell a bit like menthol. This is quite present about, I would say, 1 to 2 minutes after this fragrance has been sprayed. It does dissipate quite a lot, but remnants of this note, it does remain for some time. It does add a bit of a freshening accord. After the fragrance develops and you are pretty much in the middle of the fragrance, there is very little transition from the heart note to the base of this fragrance, because what really remains, it's a gourmand fragrance with lots of caramel, milky notes, and also vanilla. Honey is listed as a note in this fragrance, guys, but honestly, I do not sense much of a honey accord in this fragrance. To my nose, this is caramel, vanilla, and lactose notes. And on the skin, when this fragrance settles, this is pretty much what remains. For the price point of about 35 euros for 100 milliliters, this fragrance, it is pretty good. It is not obnoxious, it is not cloying, it is not bismuth. It is a very easy to wear fragrance. It is not the best gourmand fragrance out there, but at the same time, it is wearable and it is good value, I think, for the price point. This is an everyday fragrance. It is not anything extraordinary. I would give this fragrance anywhere from a 6.5 to a 7, which for me is average fragrance, a bit generic, but it is okay. On to Bianco Latte. This fragrance, it is costing 130 euros. It is never on sale. It was a very hyped fragrance. It is still very hyped and very popular. This is what the packaging looks like. The bottle, it is glass, and the top of the fragrance, I mean, it is plastic. When I got this, I was a bit disappointed because from the pictures, it looked like the top was wood, but it is not. Most of the niche fragrances I have, which are packaged in this type of bottle, the top is wood, and you would expect this from a fragrance in this price range. Also, I was not so happy that the label of this fragrance, it is not printed on, it is just, you can say, glued on here. By looking at this and touching this, right, this could easily come off. I think after this fragrance gets more wear and tear and the glue might deteriorate, I think this label will most likely come off. This fragrance, it does share a lot of similar notes with Taskeen Caramel Cascade, but there are some differences. In this one, the top note, it's only caramel. The heart note, it is coumarin and honey. And the base, it is vanilla and milk. Coumarin, when added as a note in fragrances, it can add a herbal or hay accord, or it can also add a sweet toasted almond accord. And I will get to this note a bit later on when I am comparing Taskeen Caramel Cascade to Bianco Latte. This one has such a long name, it is really at times ridiculous because I always say Taskeen Caramel and I forget the Cascade. The opening of Bianco Latte, it is a bit softer and a bit smoother than Taskeen Caramel Cascade. This one, after it opens and it has a bit of time to settle, it does have a freshening note, but it is not this menthol note that I do get in Caramel Cascade. This is more, I would say, of a cold vanilla note. It does remind me of West Indian vanilla. It is more of a sharp green vanilla accord. It does have this same, I would say, cereal-like opening. It is softer, but this one, it is a bit more fragrant. Also in Bianco Latte, I am able to sense this honey note. It is very delicate and it is very nicely done. The dry down of this fragrance, it's very beautiful. It is gourmand. There are very soft vanilla notes mixed with honey and also a bit of what I would call a musk accord. There is no musk listed as a note, but it is there. There is also this very nice milky accord. This fragrance, it does not have a big transition where you can sense a lot of notes. It is not very potent. It is very soft. Sillage is to a minimum. This is not a fragrance which projects out very much. It remains very close to the skin. Now it's time to tell you what you really want to hear. I know a lot of you are waiting to hear this. Is Taskeen Caramel Cascade a perfect dupe for Bianco Latte? From what I can see, in Taskeen Caramel Cascade, tonka bean is used, whereas in Bianco Latte, coumarin is being used, which gives this a bit of a slight freshy herbal accord. The notes in both fragrances, with the exception of coumarin versus tonka bean, from what I can see on paper, it is supposed to be very close. However, using tonka bean versus coumarin in these two fragrances does make a difference. In terms of dupe radar, or what it's being called, I would give this maybe 7.5 versus 10. I mean, the fragrances, they are in the same genre of scents, but they are not the same. Bianco Latte, this is a bit softer. It is a bit more blended. You get in here a bit more of the honey note. And Bianco Latte, it is not as potent as Taskeen Caramel Cascade. And also this, I would call it menthol minty note in Taskeen Caramel Cascade. It does make this fragrance different. The dry down of both fragrances, it is similar. It's not the same, it is similar. You get this nice gourmand caramel aroma on the skin, but in Taskeen Caramel Cascade, it is a bit stronger. This fragrance, I would say, it is not the same soft blend that you have in Bianco Latte. On the positive side, if you are looking for something which is close to Bianco Latte in the same genre of perfumes, then this is perfectly fine. I mean, it is a nice fragrance. Which is my favorite of the two fragrances? It is Bianco Latte. This is a bit of a softer blend, and it is a bit different. Is it revolutionary? No. But guys, I have to be honest. If someone does have Bianco Latte and it is a fragrance that they do wear a lot, if you were to wear Taskeen Caramel Cascade, people would be able to tell the difference. Maybe if you sniff it on the skin, not, but these two fragrances are not so close that you could say that it is the same. For example, I did a review of Paris Corner Kia Pistachio and compared it to Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato. These fragrances, if you were to wear either one, I don't think anyone would be able to tell them apart. Also, I did review Lattafa Niche Emirati. The fragrance is called Antique, and I compared it to BDK Gris Chanel. These two fragrances, you cannot tell them apart. You can say those were dupes. But this one, it is not a one-to-one dupe. Thanks guys for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if this video was helpful to you. Send me some comments if you have both fragrances and you do not agree with my take on it. Please let me know. I do love talking about fragrances. Fragrances are subjective, and sometimes I can get a note that other people do not get. It could be that I can sense the difference in this freshening herbal note and you may not sense it, so we can talk about it. Also, if you found something, another note which you find it is quite different that I did not talk about, please remember to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and hope to see you guys again soon on my channel. I will leave links of these fragrances that I'm talking about in the description box. Tschüss!